pizza. I like pizza. You know, I mean, everyone likes pizza, not every day, but once in a while you like pizza. It's not about liking pizza or not. It's about the availability of foods. So if something is non-exclusive and it grows everywhere, it's abundant, you know. There's a beautiful virtue in that, you know. So the second quality of local foods is that there is, let's say, instead of, I'm just trying to which put first, whether it's the ecological value or it's the nutritional. I think you go for the nutritional and the medicinal value. That's the second quality. It's very, very good for you. Food is medicine. In Tamil we say unuvu maranda. You know, this isn't just a farm, this is a pharmacy. Every of one of these foods which taste really nice, you start to understand that the taste is the medicinal value. So you have the bale fruit here, the wilvaparam. This makes a juice, what we call a sherbet, you know, sama, you know, it's very, 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 very tasty. And the leaves we put in the salad, not too much, but my wife had it in the puja, in the house puja, you know, the pujari gave the bel pata, no, and I was like, hey, that's great. I went back home, I started to throw it in the salad. Every day in the salad, not a whole plate, because it'll be too strong. But a whole plate of salt is also too strong, but you like salt, no? So it's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You see, like behind you is Tipali Sukkamilugu. It's like one of the foundations of the nutritional, medicinal heritage of Tamil Nadu. It's the long black pepper, this which looks like vettile, no? So this is an amazing plant, and you see it has another characteristic, which is that it grows in the shade. So it's almost like there's a technical value to it as well. The next characteristic of local foods is the ecological cost. So if you go in your garden and you harvest the muringakere, I mean, we didn't even talk about the muringakere's nutritional values. It's a superfood. It's like considered the best food in the whole world. It has all the essential amino acids. Moringa. All essential amino acids that you can be growing in Cambodia. We'll walk by. It's probably growing just here, or it's right under you actually. It's right behind you. Look up. Yeah, look up, yeah. Moringa, yeah. Not that one, yeah. Correct, yeah, correct. You don't have to look far to see any of these things. This whole farm is copy and paste. You know, it's papaya everywhere, moringa everywhere, soursop everywhere, mango, banana everywhere, papayas everywhere, pineapples, haldi. It's all copy and paste, you know. So the fact that moringa is so good for you, you know, and so tasty, that's a massive thing. So the next thing is the ecological value. You go out in your garden, you harvest it, you eat it. There is no ecological cost. There's no carbon footprint, which in this day and age is the most real thing. Recently I gave a talk for climate change in a big university, and they invited professors from England, and it was like a big deal. You had a little badge that you went to this conference and stuff. And I gave my speech. I said, do you like moringa kere? They're like, everyone, we like it. It's part of our culture. We eat it at home. I said, great. Does it grow on the campus? They say, yes, it grows everywhere, like literally everywhere on the campus. I said, fantastic. Third question, do you serve it in the canteen? No. So I say, wait, you're running a climate change conference. Industrialized agriculture is a major contributing factor to climate change. And you're not serving something that A, you like, B, you know how to use it, and C, you have it in your back garden. This is like pretty basic common sense, no? It's like if you were a mother and you open the cupboard, you say, kids, we're having for dinner tonight this, and this, because you have it. You're not going to say, oh, we have that, let's have Swiggy, you know? Like, it's kind of common sense, but we're not there, you know? We're somewhere else. We're with our potatoes and our Pepsi Cola, you know. So no carbon footprint, no ecological cost is so fundamental. And then there's a lot of other small things, like for example, many of these local foods, they have diverse parts that can be used. For example, if you compare a carrot and a green papaya, they're very similar in textures, how you use them. But the difference with papaya is you can, they grow all the year through. They don't have an ecological cost. And we also use the seeds. We also use the leaves. You can even use the flower. You know, it's like there's a lot of values. The banana flower, banana stem, banana leaf, rosella, the gungura, gungura flower, gungura fruit, gungura leaves, gungura stem, and even gungura seeds. We make a coffee substitute from it. So it's like there's this Mother Nature, she's like, look, I love you that much. And we're like, no, thank you. We'll just have the potatoes, please, you know. So that's where we're at, because we've lost the relationship. You know, everything is about a relationship, you know. If I see you only as a person who works for me, I see your function, he's very smart, he's very efficient, he does his job. But I don't know that you're also a musician, a father, maybe a healer, maybe a gardener. I don't know the other characteristic, because we're very departmentalized. It's a very Descartesian way, anthropocentric way of looking at this world for monetary gain. But there's so much more profit than monetary gain. It's part of the equation, but it's only one aspect, you know. So those are like the characteristics of local food. Now, if you start to think about those values and how integral they are, how fundamental they are, you say, well, obviously farm to plate makes sense, you know. Like, let's start with the Indian scenario of the kids in government school, midday meal scheme. Now, I always say, you know, that Indians are very smart. They're running NASA, the White House, the Google, all of that, you know. Surely we can get this together. You get all the farmers in a bioregion to sign up to some sort of scheme. A little lorry, you go around and collect the produce they have, comes to a cooking center, and you cook for the schools in that bioregion. You know, that's all it is, you know. And then there's the creativity of your grandma and your one and your... And there's this wonderful food. And those kids grow up, firstly, healthy, you know. Secondly, we address carbon footprint. We address climate change. But I think the biggest takeaway of this, and this is definitely, this narrative is not on the table, is that we all grow up with a collective value, you know. We all grow up with a cultural identity which says, you know, you like hip-hop and I like classical Carnatic music, you know. You're a vegetarian, I eat meat. You know, you like J. Krishnamurti and I like Sai Baba. We'll disagree for these and for 100 other concepts, opinions, beliefs and ideologies. But you put the muringakira soup, the drumstick soup between us, we'll both go, oh, nalarka, you know. The food that grows around us is truly the lowest common denominator for all of us. So if a society starts to have that as a sort of fundamental base in their thinking, surely the more complex problems we're going to face, at least we have something that we do agree on. There's some sort of resonance in a society, and I think that's probably the biggest takeaway in this whole story, is the cultural sort of, the element what we call cultural redemption, you know, reclaiming cultural identity and having a collective, you know, vision together. Should we go this way? You have to weed. When the growth is high, other plants have no light. You weed and you drop it and it becomes compost, you know. So it's weeding is part of it, but it's part of it, you know, but it's not like a dominating subject, you know.
Not the same way with other orchards you do in different ways.
Yeah, it's just different, I guess, yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming on this tour. Just to recap, you could say that, you know, we need a road back to nature. Obviously, that's where we can see there's something very serious at hand. And a road back to nature for me is firstly recognizing that all the leaves and branches and sticks are the first gift of Mother Nature. If we return them back to the soil, obviously soil is going to become, you know, healthy and fertile and have a good structure and less aggressive weeds, and this can emerge from this. You know, if you grasp this one point, then you can do this without any big learning. This is the key. I would say the first and last technique is returning organic matter. The second step is to be very creative and honor all these gifts. You know, all the weeds, find out how to use them. And the green papaya and the banana stem. Go to your grandma and ask Granny, you know, when in this season, what did you eat? How did you eat it? And start to refine, you know, your cultural heritage. This process is called cultural redemption. because for me the culture is the knowledge of how to use those plants, you know. Without a body, there's no mind. With no mind, there's no language, there's no culture. In India, we have this book called the Upanishad, which is like it's a treatise on non-duality. So they say there's Annamaya Kosh, which is the food sheath. And then you have Pranamaya Kosh, which is the energy sheath. Then you have Manamaya Kosh, which is the mind sheath. So from the mind sheath, you have language and you have culture. So without the food, how is there mind? How is there culture? So we have to see, where do we want to go? You know, do we want to become a country like England and America, which I think is completely impossible for a country like India to go that way, because the culture is so rich, so deep, so ancient. But we do have to be wary. You know, we keep eating Maggi noodles and McDonald's and, you know, and KFC and all this thing, then culture is surely going to be lost. Because if this kid grows up not knowing what is a karne karenge or a muringa kire, then where's the culture? The third step is community. Community is everything. Without community, you can't succeed in this subject. Celebration, I would say, is the golden key of all this permaculture. As a musician myself, I recognized that while playing in a very, very fancy club in Mumbai, and I was just feeling, man, I want to do these concerts in my farm for my community. So I started Lively Up Your Earth, which is an eco music festival. We've had seven festivals here, and or 7 or 8, and 1,500 people, 15 bands, and a lot of 2 stages, a lot of activities, a lot of workshops. And this sort of joy of celebration is like an adhesive. It brings everyone together. I'd say, you know, never underestimate celebration. Celebration is the golden key of doing any endeavor project like this. I meet a lot of people who want to start farms, and I say the first thing you do, make a festival and invite all your friends and have some music, have some food, and start sharing the vision. That's where it should start, you know. And invite schools to come, you know, invite schools to come and start participating and you know, get involved. Although that's always tricky because people think kids should be in classrooms. For me, this is the ultimate classroom. You know, you teach people how to make that butterfly pea juice, no, the Sangapoo juice. You put the water in the flour in the water goes electric blue. You add a lemon, it goes violet. It's a pH indicator. There's a chemistry class. Then you look at the physiology of that flower, you know, as the name implies, Clitoria ternatia. There's a whole, you know, anatomy and physiology class. You take the seeds, you plant, and there's germination. What's germination? What's the dicotyledons? There's botany, you know, and then there's making packets with the seeds, seeing the social impact of giving out seed packets. You know, there's art class. There's everything is there, you know, and yet we want to keep kids in a classroom. It's beyond me, really, beyond me. Guys, thank you so much. If you want to, unless there are any questions. Great, I've done my job. So if you want to stay in touch, Krishna.Mackenzie on Instagram, KrishnaMackenzie.com. That's my website that talks about some of my projects outside and also my music. Solitude.farm will tell you all about our workshops here at the farm and, you know, and what we're doing here at the farm. And thank you so much. The food is better than my talk. So please have lunch. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.